It's time for the keys to life. When I say keys to life, you say, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is. Number one, God allows the same beatings because you do the same things. God allows the same beatings because you do the same things. If you want to beat the beatings to stop, if you want the persecution, the trouble, the trial, you must overcome the situation. If people keep saying the same thing to you, you might want to try something different. What I need you to grasp, what I need you to get in your mind is never to look at it from what you say to people, but not what people say to you, but what you say to people. If you want someone to stop complaining about something, you won't stop. Start doing something different. If you have to be willing, you have to be willing to see yourself in a new element. You have to be willing to say, okay, this isn't working. You have to be willing to say, okay, I've been going through and I checked all the boxes. I'm paying my tithes and offering, and this is the different season, and this is happening here. I know what's going on. I have a good relationship with God. I'm communicating with God. I've talked to God about it. He's not hard of hearing. He's not deaf. He's not blind. He knows everything that's going on. He heard you. He saw you in your pain. He sees what's going on. If it's not to make you better, and this is a question you have to ask yourself, it's not to make you better, then what is it that you are doing and how are you responding to the situation? It's not what these people are doing to me, what the job is doing to me. It's not like, oh, this isn't working. What are you doing? How are you thinking? Are you overly emotional? Are you overly logical? There's two different. Sometimes the logical person must become more emotional. Sometimes the emotional person must become more logical. Everybody must become more spiritual. We have to get to a mindset that says, what am I missing? And what am I doing? And how am I doing it? Because I keep running into the same thing, and I shouldn't keep running into the same beating over and over and over and over again unless I'm not smart enough or I'm not tapping into the thing that will get me over it, the thing that will allow me to be better. Before you give up, give the situation consistency. Give your situation consistency. You say, well, I tried it. Well, how many times did you try it? If you can count the amount of times that you tried it, then you probably didn't try it many times. You're pleading your own case, and God doesn't need you to plead your case because that's His job. That's God's job is to plead your case. Why are you pleading your case to everybody? It only makes you seem more selfish because you're not doing your job. Everybody has a job. Jesus said, I will plead your case. I am your lawyer. I got you. I just need you to do what Jesus did, which is work, which is stay humble, which is get rid of the issues, work continuously. Build your resume. Build your resume. Who you are, and this is going to take me to C, but I'm on A. I'm going to take me to 3. I'm on 1, but build your resume. Everything you do is your resume, how you talk to people, how you live. So if you're running into the same beatings, you need to change something on your resume on how you respond to the things you respond to and how you do the things that you do. I'll let you live with that there. Okay, number 2, how you act now will tell God, your family, and the world if you're tired of the old you. I know it was long. Got you. How you act now will tell God, family, and the whole entire world, really. Everyone that sees you, whether you're tired, whether you're truly tired of the old you. Now, I don't know if the old you was 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, but one of the things that in this building you will constantly learn is to reproduce or to change who you are You'll never become perfect. You'll die not being perfect. But that's not the question. He just wants you to do your first works over. He wants you to constantly work to be better. That you aren't who you were 3 years ago. So the things that you ran with, you don't run with. The things that you did, you don't do. The things that you said, you don't say. The way you used to practice, you don't practice like that no more. You practice better than what you practice. You talk better than you talked. You understand better than you understood. You can see people where they are better than you could see people before. Before, you didn't really notice them. You didn't pay attention to them. Now you see them in their suffering and you can do something about it. You can understand that maybe you're saying the wrong thing because you never really looked at it, but now you're slow to speak, right? You're quick to listen. And because you're slow to speak, if you're slow to speak and you're quick to listen, now you can see that what you're saying isn't giving you the resolve you're looking for. Before, you never looked at it, right? And now you're like, hold on, maybe I should stop. So I want you to get to that place. I want you to get to the place where you can start to see that what I used to do does not work. And if I want to ever produce a better me, it's time for me to make some consistent changes. Because otherwise the world just takes you for who you are. And it doesn't mean, and please understand, I don't mean for you to worry about what everybody says about you. But in your life, there should be one or two people that if they say something, you might want to be like, all right, I'm going to think about that. Because you wouldn't tell me something just to destroy me. You're going to tell me, now, I might not like what you say, but I respect what you say because you don't want it. Like, now, you don't find a lot of those people. But if Cleo tell me you want this gum, yes, I want that gum, even if I don't want the gum, because clearly I made a mistake and ate something I shouldn't eat. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if somebody else asks me, no, I don't think I do. Some people, you have to say, okay, well, and if you have something like that, if someone's going to be brutally honest with you, and they say your character is kind of slipping, you're messing up here, take it, think about it, because you don't need to bring the old you into a new relationship. You don't take the old you into a new job. You don't take the old you into a new school. You don't take the old you into a new situation, because the old you is only going to produce what? Hazard, havoc, destruction. And so now, if you don't change, then what happens is now people are saying, it's just him. A long time ago, I don't think they do it now. I don't know, because I don't play basketball like I used to play basketball. When I was younger, we used to play basketball, and they would pick it. And they picked the last two guys, didn't really want them, but they would pick them. And then they're playing. Now, when we're playing, whether you got picked last or not, doesn't prove that you're good or you were actually ready to play. What happens is when they throw you the ball, when somebody's in your face, how you respond to that makes a difference. And this is what they would say when you didn't come up, you didn't come through. Oh, he just here. He's just here. Oh, he just want to play. Don't even worry. And so after that, after they get that statement out, all of a sudden, the ball never ever touches your hands. You in the game, you running forward, you running backward, you on defense, you will never see that ball again. They threw it to you once, they threw it to you twice. It's likely, especially because you're just there. You've proven that you're just here. Your worth as a player, your worth as a businessman, your worth as your word, your worth in the relationship, your worth at the job, your worth anywhere, even at the church, is that you're just here. And that's not anybody's problem but you. Because there lies no push in you. Now, for most people, they say, well, there's got to be. Well, so with the last person that's running back and forth, he running back and forth. He got his hands up. He trying to block, but he didn't put in no time. So therefore, they don't want to pick him on the next run. Because he don't got no layup, he don't got a shot, he can't block anything. What are your worth? What is your point? So my question to you, and the thing that I'm trying to get you to understand, is that everybody has to figure out at some point, why am I not being picked? Why is it not working? Why is it not going the way I expected it to go? If I bring the old me into a new situation, it will not work. I have to start changing things so that my resume looks what? Different. I have to start doing things every day till I perfect it and get it right. And then all of a sudden, you have changed who you are, and it's very clear. So that in 6 months from now, you go to the basketball court, they be like, it's just him, but we ain't got nobody else, pick him. And all of a sudden, threes, all of a sudden, you blocking shots, all of a sudden, you stole the ball. They're like, oh, yeah, we got him. Now they're looking for you. You playing? See, it's a difference. Don't blame God because you look like you look. Blame you. Because God doesn't do the work on earth. You do. You are his hands. You are his voice. You do the work. And that's the hard part. Now, here's the last thing. Is what I do done in excellence? Is what I do done in excellence? A few years ago, people used to say, I do this. Like when they get hyped, they're like, I do this. Like this, yeah. I may not do that, but I do this. And so when they get hyped and they're like, I do this, the thing about it is, the question is, like, what excellence do you have in it? I used to be an armor bearer before I ever was a pastor. And my pastor would go and he would walk and he would do this and he would do that. He dropped something, I hit grab before it hit the ground. I knew when he was hungry, I knew he was thirsty, I knew what he needed, when he needed, how he needed it. I was on it. And the reason I was on it, and the reason and what I took from that experience was to put that into every area of my life so that there was never something that I put my hands on that didn't look good. There was never something that I put my hands on that didn't have some type of excellence. If I got to do it 17 times to get it to look just right, and people are like, well, why are you doing it? Oh, no, I gotta kind of work it. You done said that to them 17 times. I'm hoping that they get it the 18th time. I'm hoping I'm going to say it differently. I'm going to do it differently, but I'm still going to come because I need you to understand. I need you to get it. I've used this one point differently, and I said it last year in a different way because I'm trying to cultivate people that understand it's not always what you do, but how you do it. It's not just how, so sometimes it's always looked at as how you say it. No, the things you do make a difference. We focus on a lot of things, what we say, but the question is, what do you do? And how do you do it? If I say the same thing, it's like, oh, because you work on that and you don't do it, if your boss be like, yeah, we could pick her, but she's gonna do it this way. And that's not gonna work for what we're trying to show people. Everything, you ask why you weren't invited to see their mother or their father, because you just don't look like the thing. You understand? You don't fit. What I want you to get is presentation does make a difference. What I want you to get is how you do what you do does make a difference. The fact that it is like nobody does it the way you do it makes a difference. The piece, the niche that you have has to be on point. When people say, there's a lot of things I can let go of, but that thing I won't let go of because it's important. That person I won't let go of because they make a difference. What is it that people say about you that makes a difference? That you can say, okay, I own this. I own this area. It doesn't make a difference how old you are, because people come to people at different times. There are actors that just started at 60 years old, and why did they get picked? Because they had something that other people didn't have. What I want you to grasp, what I want you to get is not to worry about all the other things, all the superficial things, but the actual work that you put in every day. How you get up, how you exercise, how you live, how you do what you do, because how you do it does make a difference. And so when you can put that in, you put excellence in consistency, it works out well. But if you put ordinary into consistency, what is it I don't notice. Now, some people will notice because they love ordinary. Some people will notice because they don't mind below average. But if you want to make an impression, it's easy the first time. To keep the impression is the problem. To keep the impression takes work. To keep the impression takes a habitual practice over and consistency, going over and over until it's what? A lifestyle. And the only thing that I want you to gather and what I've been trying to push on you is to build a better lifestyle. And those are the keys to that.